Hello everyone, welcome back to the Secret Straight channel. Today's review unfolds from a moment that took place inside a warm, softly lit cafe on a rainy afternoon, where a single dad sat with his young 18-year-old son, taking a rare break from a long week. As he lifted his cup of coffee, two little twin girls approached him, their dresses covered with dirt, their eyes red from crying, and their voices trembling as they asked, "Can we eat with you?" That single question struck him harder than any storm could. Even before this review begins, that small, emotional moment sets the tone for everything we are about to discuss in this detailed explanation of the environment, the surrounding elements, and the experience that shaped the decisions of the man and the children. The exterior of the cafe shows a modern glass front design with large windows letting natural light flow inside, and the outside atmosphere adds emotional weight to the encounter. The rainy weather softens the tone, the reflections on the glass parallel the uncertainty in the children's eyes, and the calm street outside contrasts with the intensity of emotion inside. The exterior visual performance of the location plays a large role in how the atmosphere is felt, warm indoors and cold outdoors, and this balance becomes a symbolic representation of the comfort the father unknowingly offers the twins. Inside, the interior of the cafe is crafted with warm neutrals, soft wooden textures, and hanging lights that create a comforting ambience without overwhelming the scene. The interior paragraph remains short but meaningful as the cafe's design reflects security, gentleness, and a stable environment that the two frightened girls clearly lack at the moment they approach the man. The seating layout is simple and open, making the moment clearly visible, as the single dad and his 18-year-old son quickly sense that something is wrong. The father notices the dirt on the twins' dresses, the tear marks on their cheeks, and the way they cling to each other as if the world has been unkind to them for far too long. The interior atmosphere amplifies this human connection by making it feel like the cafe is as much a character as the people in the story. When we examine the overall performance of the moment, it goes far beyond the emotional impact. The father's instinctive reaction, one of concern and immediate empathy, shows how an environment can influence human behavior. The performance of his response is gentle. He leans forward, lowers his tone, and asks them what happened. His son watches closely, learning silently what compassion truly looks like. The twins explain in broken, interrupted words that they haven't eaten since morning and their father told them to wait in the park, but he never came back. This performance becomes a defining attribute of the moment, raw, unfiltered truth from children, and a heartbroken reaction from a man who didn't expect this responsibility but accepts it without hesitation. Every action, from the twins' trembling voices to the father's steady reassurance, contributes to the overall performance of the story, teaching the viewer the value of kindness in unexpected situations. Safety features may not seem relevant to a cafe or an emotional encounter, yet in human stories like this, safety is not about physical systems but about the people who provide security. The cafe becomes a temporary shelter, not because of equipment or design, but because of the presence of someone who cares. The father immediately ensures the twins sit with them, offering food and comfort, while keeping his 18-year-old son close, teaching him an important life lesson. Emotional safety is a major feature here, the transition from fear and abandonment to comfort and acceptance. The warmth inside, the people around, and the calmness of the father combine to create a protected space where the twins can finally breathe. This safety becomes one of the strongest features of the moment, showing how an environment and a person's actions can protect others even without formal systems in place. Moving into unique selling points, the strongest one is the unexpected emotional authenticity. The combination of a single dad, an 18-year-old son who watches and learns, and scared little twin girls creates a moment that feels deeply human and universally relatable. The father's compassion becomes a standout element, a selling point not of a product but of humanity itself. The viewer connects instantly because the kindness shown isn't exaggerated or forced, it happens naturally, and this purity is rare in everyday life. Another unique selling point is the contrasting imagery. The clean, warm cafe interior versus the unclean, distressed appearance of the twins. This contrast visually communicates the story without words, making the moment powerful even before the dialogue begins. The entire environment becomes a representation of hope meeting hardship, and the experience draws the viewer in effortlessly. Considering price, it appears not as a monetary figure but as the emotional cost each character carries. The twins pay the highest price, fear, hunger, loneliness, and abandonment by someone they trusted. The father pays the emotional price of responsibility, not because he is forced to, but because he chooses to extend love to children who desperately need it. His 18-year-old son learns that compassion often comes at a personal cost: time, energy, and emotional vulnerability. Yet, the value they all receive in return is immeasurable. The price of kindness, in this situation, becomes a lesson that deeply resonates with anyone who watches or listens to this story. The viewer sees that doing the right thing may cost you comfort, but it rewards you with profound meaning. The conclusion of this review brings together the emotional, visual, and moral elements of the moment. The father invites the twins to sit at his table, gently wipes their tears, and gives them food, ensuring they feel safe for the first time in what might have been a very long day. His son watches, learning that true strength is shown through compassion. The cafe remains warm and steady, the rain continues outside, and the twins slowly begin to smile again as they realize they are no longer alone. The conclusion highlights how this moment is not just a simple encounter but an example of how kindness can transform fear into comfort, loneliness into belonging, and despair into hope. The viewer walks away from this review not just informed but emotionally touched, remembering that sometimes the most meaningful moments happen when someone simply asks, "Can we eat with you?" and someone else answers with a heart full of kindness.